From having your bones crushed by a dinosaur to watching a priest wear your skin like a costume, here's what it's like to die in every single time period. Now, before I start, I want to just say for my nerds watching this video, dinosaurs and humans did not live during the same time. And well, I know that. Okay, now pretend you are on the massive and only continent of Pangaea during the Mesozoic era, which for my slower little box heads watching this video was 66 million years ago. Thud. You feel a distant footstep and then another. Crack. Branches snap like bones, then you see it. The subscribe button. Wait, not that. It's a T-Rex! 20 feet tall, 40 feet long, and it's staring right at your funky ass. You freeze because what the hell? But you're too late because it's already charging straight at you. Boom! The impact of its footsteps shake the ground underneath you. At this point, you've probably already pissed your pants. You turn around and start running for dear life. But you're nothing, just a snack in motion. Snap! Its jaws close around your lower half with bone-crushing force. You're lifted into the air, screaming for Boxhead to save you, as blood spews out of your body rapidly. Crunch! Your spine breaks. You're still alive when the teeth come down again, but this time through your chest. And then, darkness. Now let's imagine you're a loyal servant in Pharaoh Khufu's household during the very iconic ancient Egypt times, which was 2500 BCE. For years, you've lived in relative luxury, attending to his every need. Now, he's dead. That must mean it's your time to be rich. Well, ladies and box heads, you're dead wrong. According to ancient tradition, the pharaoh's most devout servants must accompany him to the afterlife. Yup. So your ass is dragged to the tombs as well. The massive entrance slab seals behind you. You're not alone in this tomb. Dozens of other servants stand in absolute darkness. The priests have left, the workers have sealed every entrance. You are now entombed with your pharaoh forever. Even if you're still alive. Drip, drip, drip. Water echoes somewhere in the blackness. But it might as well be on another planet. The air grows thick and stale. With so many people breathing in such a confined space, the oxygen depletes fast and well, it starts to get hot. Some servants will start to cry, others pray desperately to the gods. A few pound uselessly against the walls to try and escape. But these walls are 3 feet thick. I mean, no one is coming. Hour by hour, the air becomes poisonous. Your head pounds, your vision blurs even in total darkness. The weaker servants collapse first, hitting the floor as they suffocate. Their bodies twitch and seize. Now, it's your turn, buddy. You're dying now, you can feel it. In some useless attempt to live, you claw at the walls until your fingernails break and bleed. The chamber fills with the stench of death and human waste as people lose control. Your lungs burn like fire, your heart beats desperately against your ribs. But there's no oxygen left. You sink to your knees, then collapse entirely. Dead, just like the funky-ass pharaoh next to you. Now let's travel to 1000 BCE, deep into ancient China. You are accused of treason against the emperor. The evidence is almost non-existent, but in ancient China, suspicion equals, well, guilt. The sentence is lingqi, which means death by 1,000 cuts. So they drag you to the execution platform in the city center. Hundreds of people gather to witness imperial justice. The executioner is a master craftsman. He's performed this ritual dozens of times and knows exactly how to keep you alive for maximum suffering. He sharpens his knife. You're tied to a wooden post, arms and legs spread wide. Now the executioner begins his work. The first cut is shallow, just a strip of skin from your chest. Blood wells up, but it's nothing fatal. That's the entire point. Slowly, little ribbons of your flesh are peeled away from your body like apple skin. The crowd counts each cut out loud. 15, 16, 17. No one shows mercy. A piece of your ear falls to the platform. Skin from your thigh curls away like a wood shaving. The executioner works away. Blood loss makes you dizzy, but they keep you smelling salts. They won't let you escape into the darkness that easily. 200! 201! Now your body looks like raw meat. Blood pools at the platform's base, attracting flies. The crowd slowly grows quiet as you start to look unrecognizable. By cut 700, there's barely anything left that resembles human. It is said that this is one of the most painful ways to die and that you don't last more than 4 to 5 minutes with this torture method. Want to know something even more disgusting? The flesh of the victims may also have been sold as medicine during this time. By the way, this torture method was only banned in 1905. That was honestly not too long ago. But wait, maybe your crime was different. Maybe it wasn't treason. Maybe your crime demands being cooked alive. What happens then? Well, I'll paint you a picture. There's a bronze cauldron large enough to hold a grown person. That person is going to be, well, you. Servants pile wood underneath while water fills the vessel. Steam begins rising from the surface. Your hands are tied. Guards hold you down as the temperature climbs toward boiling. The water reaches a violent boil. They lift you by your arms and legs. You struggle frantically, but it's useless. They drop you into the cauldron. The pain is instant. Every nerve in your body screams all at once. Your flesh cooks immediately. The outer layer turns red, then white, then starts peeling away in sheets just like paint. You try to climb out, but the metal walls are too high and you're slippery with your own cooking flesh. Your muscles cook and contract. Next, your hair burns away completely. You scream until your throat is raw, but the sound disappears in bubbling water. Your body is literally being cooked alive. Eventually, mercifully, your heart stops beating. They fish out what remains with long poles. Now let's time travel to 399 BCE in ancient Greece. You are a philosopher in Athens. Your fresh ideas threaten the order. You corrupt the youth with dangerous questions, they say. The jury of 500 citizens has spoken. Death by hemlock. The executioner brings a simple clay vessel filled with dark liquid. Hemlock plant extract mixed with water. It smells bitter like crushed poisonous herbs. Your students and friends gather in the prison cell. They cry openly. You lift the hemlock to your lips. Farewell, my friends, you tell your companions. You drain the cup in one long swallow. The taste is horrible, bitter, and earthy like chewing dirty roots, but you keep it down. For several minutes, nothing happens. You continue discussing philosophy as if nothing has changed. Then you feel it beginning. It starts in your feet, a strange numbness like they've fallen completely asleep. Hemlock attacks the nervous system slowly, shutting down your body from the limbs inward. But unlike other poisons, it leaves your mind completely clear. You'll be alert for the entire process. The paralysis moves up your legs. You try wiggling your toes, but they don't respond to your commands. Your waist goes numb, then your chest. Your lungs start failing. Each breath requires more conscious effort, but your mind remains razor sharp. The poison is reaching my heart now, you note, as if you were conducting an experiment on yourself. Then the final stage begins. Your heart muscle, paralyzed like everything else, starts to fail. You close your eyes, you say your last words, your heart stops, your lungs stop moving. But let's say the mob decides your fate instead. How would that go? You'd be standing in the center of a crowd surrounded by hundreds of angry faces. The charges don't matter now: adultery, blasphemy, treason. The crowd wants blood. People bend down, selecting rocks. Some are small pebbles. Others are the size of a man's fist, jagged and sharp. There's no escape from them. Guards block every exit. The circle closes around you like a noose. A rock hits your shoulder. It stings but doesn't do serious damage. Then another and another. A sharp stone catches you above the left eye. Blood streams down your face, blurring your vision. The crowd roars in approval like animals. More stones rain down. They hit your arms, chest, and legs. Each impact sends jolts of agony through your body. A large rock hits your ribs. You hear them snap like dry branches. Breathing becomes torture. You fall to your knees, desperately trying to protect your head with bloodied hands. But the stones keep coming relentlessly. A rock the size of bread strikes the back of your head. Your skull cracks. The world spins. You taste the blood flooding your mouth. Another stone hits your temple. Then another strikes your face. The last thing you see is jagged granite flying towards your eyes. It strikes you between them with crushing force. Everything goes black forever. The crowd continues throwing stones long after you've stopped moving. You wake up and it's 80 CE during the Roman Empire. You are a criminal sentenced to punishment in the arena. You're about to become entertainment for 80,000 screaming Romans. The gate rises. It's go time. blinding sunlight floods the dark tunnel you've been kept in as you're pushed into the Colosseum's sand-covered floor. The noise hits you like a physical push. That's 80,000 voices screaming for blood. And I'm talking about your blood. Across the arena, another gate opens. A massive lion emerges. It's been starved for days to make it more aggressive. The beast sees you immediately, its yellow eyes lock onto yours. You have no weapons, no armor, not a chance of survival. The lion charges at you immediately. You try to run, but there's nowhere to go. The arena walls are 15 feet high, smooth and unclimbable. The lion catches you from behind. Its claws tear through your back, opening gashes that expose white ribs beneath. You scream and fall face first into the sand. Blood soaks into the ground beneath you. The crowd loves it. Then the lion's massive head dips down, its jaws clamp around your skull, and you feel your bones begin to crack under the pressure. But it doesn't kill you quickly. It plays with you first, like a cat with a mouse. The lion releases your head and bats at you with its paws. Each swipe sends you rolling across the sand, leaving trails of blood. You try to crawl away, but the beast follows, toying with its food. Finally, it gets bored. Its massive teeth bite you in the neck. Your jugular vein ruptures, spraying blood everywhere. The crowd rises to its feet now. You die staring up at 80,000 Romans applauding your pain. Or perhaps your death comes differently. Suppose you're a political enemy of the state. The sentence is crucifixion, death by slow torture on the cross. They drive the first spike through your right wrist. The iron tears right through your tendons and bone. The second nail goes through your left wrist. Blood streams down your arms. Then they set the cross upright. Your full body weight now hangs from 2 iron spikes. With your arms stretched wide, your chest cavity can't expand properly. To breathe, you must push up with your legs. But then they nail your feet to the cross too. To inhale, you must push up on the nail through your feet. And ladies and box heads, hours passed just like this. Your muscles cramp from the unnatural position. Dehydration sets in. Your tongue swells with thirst. Flies buzz around your wounds, laying eggs in the open flesh. You hang there for hours, sometimes a day or more. Eventually, the exhaustion wins. You can no longer push up for breath. It hurts, and it's too much work. Your chest muscles give up, so you suffocate, slowly whilst hanging from iron nails. And by day 2, you've passed away. Now let's talk about how you would die during the Viking Age in 900 CE. You are a captured enemy king. In Viking culture, your death must match your status. It has to be elaborate, ritualistic, and supremely painful. They've chosen the Blood Eagle. The ritual begins with you face down on a wooden altar. A sharp seax knife cuts along both sides of your spine, slicing through muscle. You scream, but the Vikings ignore you. This is sacred work. Using axes and hammers, they break your ribs away from your spine. Each crack sounds like breaking wood. The pain is beyond description. You can feel them working inside your body, but you're still alive. They pull your broken ribs outward, spreading them wide like the wings of an eagle. Your back opens like a disgusting bloody flower. Then comes the absolute worst part. They reach into your chest and grab your lungs. You feel their hands inside you, gripping the organs that keep you alive. They pull your lungs out through your back and drape them over your spread ribs. The organs flutter in the air like bloody wings. Somehow, impossibly, you're still breathing. The Blood Eagle is designed to keep you conscious for as long as possible while your lungs hang outside your body. It takes hours before you finally die. Or maybe your death comes from the sea that claimed so many Vikings. But this isn't death by drowning in battle. This is execution. Heavy iron shackles lock around your legs. Each chain weighs 50 pounds and connects to large stones. They row you out to the deepest part of the fjord where the water is black and freezing. They throw you overboard without a word. The chains drag you down immediately. You fight to swim up, but the weight is too much. Cold seawater floods your mouth and nose. You splash around desperately, but the stones pull you deeper into the blackness. Your lungs burn as they fill with water. Your vision dims as oxygen leaves your brain. The water pressure increases as you sink deeper. Your chest feels like it's being crushed in a giant's fist. just like the Titan submersible. Fish scatter as your body speeds toward the bottom. You die in the cold, dark depths from drowning, and your body is never to be found. Now let's talk about how you would die in the Aztec Empire around 1450 CE. You are a captured warrior from an enemy tribe. The Aztec priests have chosen you for the ultimate honor, sacrifice to Huitzilopochtli, the god of war. 10,000 Aztecs gather at the base of the Great Temple. 4 priests drag you up the steep stairs to the altar at the top. The high priest waits at the top holding a knife made from volcanic glass. The edge is sharper than any metal blade. They force you down onto the sacrificial altar, a stone carved in the shape of Tlal-Tecutli, the earth monster. 4 priests hold your arms and legs. You can't move. The high priest raises the knife and plunges it into your chest, just below the ribs. The pain is overwhelming. You scream, but there's a crowd watching and it's louder than you alone could ever be. The priest reaches through the cut skillfully. His fingers find your still beating heart. With one violent motion, he tears your heart from your chest. You're still alive for a few more seconds, watching in horror as he holds your beating heart above his head. The crowd goes wild. Your heart continues beating in his hands for several seconds. Your body goes into shock. The priest offers your heart to the sun god. Meanwhile, your now dead body rolls down the pyramid steps. In Aztec religion, this is somehow the greatest honor you could achieve. Your death feeds the gods and keeps the universe running, or perhaps let's imagine the priests choose a different ritual. Perhaps they need your skin for Zyptotec. 20 priests surround you with sharp blades. They begin cutting your skin. They start at your ankles and work upward, peeling your skin away in one continuous piece. They literally peel you like fruit. You can feel the air hitting your exposed muscles. Your entire body burns like fire. They take their time ensuring the skin comes off intact. This ritual requires perfection. Blood runs in rivers down your body as they work. When they finish, you're completely skinless, just raw muscle. The priests are experts at keeping victims conscious all the way up until this point. One of them puts on your skin like clothing and dances in it, and they make you watch. You die watching a priest wear your flesh as a costume. The Aztecs believed this ritual brought fertility to their crops. So for them, your death is a celebration. Now let's talk about how you would die in feudal Japan around 1500. You are a samurai who has brought dishonor to your lord. There is only one way to restore your honor: seppuku, ritual suicide by disembowelment. You kneel on the tatami mat in formal position wearing white robes of death. Your katana lies before you, blade gleaming. You draw the katana with trembling hands. The blade is razor sharp, polished to mirror brightness. Your kaishakunin or executioner stands behind you with his sword ready. If you show weakness, he will end your suffering with a clean cut to the neck. You place the knife point against your left side just below the ribs. Your hands shake despite years of training. The first cut is the hardest. You drive the blade into your abdomen. It's like being stabbed with white hot iron. Blood soaks through your white robes. Following tradition, you drag the blade across your stomach from left to right. The cut opens your abdomen. Your intestines begin to spill out onto the mat. The pain is beyond anything you've ever experienced. You bite your tongue to keep from screaming, but your body betrays you. A scream escapes your lips despite your best efforts. This is weakness. This is shameful. Your kaishakunin sees your loss of control. His katana flashes down in a perfect arc. Your head separates from your shoulders in one clean cut. And now dishonor follows you into the afterlife. But maybe your lord chooses a different punishment. Perhaps he wants you to suffer longer. So he picks bamboo torture. They tie you over a young bamboo plant just as it's beginning to grow. The green shoot is sharp as a spear point. At first, you barely feel it, just a small pressure against your back. But bamboo grows fast. Very fast. Over literal hours, ladies and box heads, the bamboo pushes deeper into your body. The growing tip is harder than wood and sharp as a blade. You feel it drilling through your skin, then your muscle, then deeper still. By the second day, you feel it moving inside you as it continues growing. It pushes through your stomach, your lungs, your heart. On the third day, the green tip emerges from your chest. The bamboo has grown completely through you, but you're still alive. Bamboo grows slowly enough that your body adapts, sealing around the plant.
But the problem is it keeps growing bigger and bigger each time. Eventually, the plant grows so big it splits your body apart from the inside. When that happens, you die impaled on a plant, your body nothing more than fertilizer for its growth. The bamboo continues growing long after you're dead, reaching toward the sun with your blood in its roots. Let's talk about how you would be killed during the Crusades now. The year is 1187. You're a Crusader knight, miles from home, standing on the blood-soaked sands of the Holy Land. The battle has been raging for hours. Steel against steel. The sound never stops. Around you, men cry out in languages you don't understand. The air reeks of copper and death. Then you see it coming. A Saracen horseman charging straight at you. You raise your sword, too late. The lance pierces through your chainmail. The steel tip bursts through your back and suddenly you're looking down at 3 feet of wood and metal sticking out of your chest. You fall into the sand that's already soaked with blood from 100 other men just like you. The horse gallops away. Each step sends vibrations through the ground through your broken body. You try to breathe, but there's something wrong.
Very gosh darn wrong.
Blood fills your mouth. You think about home, about your wife, about the cross you wore when you left England 3 years ago. The sounds of battle grow distant, then silence. Or maybe you're not so lucky. Maybe you're trapped inside the walls of Antioch, which is modern-day Turkey, and it's been 6 months since the siege began. The rats disappeared weeks ago. People ate them first, then the leather, then the grass growing between the stones. Now there's nothing left. You sit in a corner watching your friends waste away. Their eyes have sunk deep into their skulls. Their skin hangs loose like old parchment. Someone whispers that help is coming. But the whispers are getting quieter. Your stomach went silent days ago. Now there's just emptiness. You close your eyes and dream of bread.
But guys, the kicker is you never wake up.
Next, Mongol Empire around 1220. You are the governor of a city that dared to resist the Khan.
And that right there, ladies and box heads, was a terrible choice.
The Mongols have taken your walls. Your soldiers are dead. Your people are kneeling in the dirt waiting to learn their fate.
And well, you already know your fate.
They drag you into the center of the courtyard. Genghis Khan himself sits watching from his throne,
Made from the bones of your predecessors.
A Mongol warrior approaches, carrying a small iron pot. Inside, molten silver bubbles and hisses. The heat rises from it like invisible snakes. They force your mouth open. The first drop hits your tongue and you understand what hell feels like. Your voice vanishes instantly. The scream that should have torn from your throat becomes nothing but steam. The silver pours down. It burns through your throat, your chest, everything inside you turning to fire and ash. Your body convulses once, then stillness. But perhaps you're not important enough for silver. Perhaps you're just another enemy soldier lying wounded on the battlefield after the Khan's army swept through it, attacking everyone in their way. You can't move, your leg is broken, maybe your back too, then you hear them coming, heavy footsteps. Laughter. The Mongols are setting up for their victory feast. Right on top of the battlefield. Right on top of you. They lay wooden planks across the wounded. You feel the weight pressing down on your chest. Then more planks. Then the food. Then the warriors. Your ribs snap like twigs. More men sit down above you. The weight grows heavier. You try to scream, but there's no space for your lungs to fill. Above you, they're laughing, eating, celebrating their victory. Below, you're being slowly crushed into the earth. Your bones break one by one, and still they feast. This next one you definitely have heard of in your history class. The Black Death. It starts with a headache, just a little one, nothing to worry about. But this is 1348, and in London, headaches can mean only one thing. The death has come for you. By the second day, the fever hits. You're burning up but shivering at the same time. Your wife brings you water, but her hands shake as she holds the cup. She's scared. She should be. By the third day, you find the first one. A swelling under your arm, hard as a stone and black as night. A bubo, the mark of the plague. It pulses with your heartbeat, growing larger every hour. Then another appears, in your groin, behind your ear. By the fourth day, you can't get out of bed. Your wife won't come near you anymore. She leaves food by the door and runs away.
In some twisted world, you kind of understand because, your funky ass would do the same.
The buboes are huge now. purple and black and ready to burst. The first one ruptures, leaking pus and blood onto your sheets. The smell is unbearable, but you can barely smell anything anyway. Your nose is bleeding, your mouth tastes like copper. You cough, black sputum sprays from your lips. The plague has reached your lungs. You think about your children, you pray they're far away. By the 7th day, you can't think at all, and then your brain just stops. But maybe you're luckier. Maybe you just collapse in the street and they throw you onto the death cart with the others. Bodies landing on bodies. It's heading for the plague pit outside the city walls, but the thing is, you're not dead yet, just unconscious. They dump you into the pit with the rest. You land in a pile of corpses 20 feet deep, and then you wake up. The weight of the dead presses down on you from all sides. You can't move, can't breathe. You try to scream, but your mouth fills with dirt and decay. Above you, they're shoveling more earth. Dirt rains down between the bodies. You claw at the corpse above you, trying to climb, but your strength is gone. The plague has made you weak, and soon it takes your life for real. No one will ever know you survived the fall. Now let's talk about how you would die during the Spanish Inquisition around 1478 to 1834. They came for you at dawn. 3 men in black robes carrying the cross and the warrant for your arrest. Heretic, they called you. You tried to run. They caught you anyway. Now you're in the dungeon beneath the cathedral, chained to a wooden table that's stained with the blood of 1,000 confessions. The Inquisitor approaches. He's a thin man with cold eyes and steady hands. He's done this before, many times. He turns the wheel and the ropes around your wrists grow tight. The rack. You've heard the stories, but you never thought you'd end up here. Your arms stretch, your shoulders burn. Confess, he says quietly. Confess your sins against God. But you have no sins to confess. You're innocent. The rope cuts into your skin, your shoulder dislocates. The pain shoots through your body like lightning. Confess! You try to hold out. You try to be strong.
Your other shoulder tears free.
Now you're screaming. You can't help it. Your spine stretches. Your ribs separate. You confess to witchcraft. You confess to heresy. You confess to things you've never heard of. Anything to make it stop. But it doesn't stop.
And your funky ass is dead.
Or maybe they decide you need purification by fire. The auto da fe. The act of faith. They drag you to the square in front of the cathedral. Thousands of people have gathered to watch you burn. They tie you to the stake. The wood is piled high around your feet. Someone in the crowd throws a stone. It hits your face. Blood runs down your cheek. The priest offers you one last chance to repent. You've already confessed to everything they wanted. What more do they want? The torch touches the kindling, the fire catches instantly. At first, it's just heat, warm air rising around your legs. Then the flames reach your feet. Your skin starts to blister. The pain climbs up your legs like a living thing. The fire grows higher. Your clothes catch fire. Your hair, the crowd cheers. The smoke fills your lungs first. That's the mercy. You suffocate before the flames reach your heart. But it takes forever. And the whole time they're watching, they're cheering, they think they're saving your soul. The next way you are about to die is definitely my favorite. We are about to talk about the Salem witch trials around the time 1692. They drag you from your cell at dawn. The accusation came from a 12-year-old girl who pointed her finger and screamed that you cursed her cow. Now you're gonna die for it. Giles Corey was pressed 3 days ago. They say his last words were more weight. Today, it's your turn. They strip you naked and lay you on the ground in the courtyard. The stones are already waiting in neat piles. Cold, heavy, perfect for crushing. The first stone lands on your chest. It's not so bad, just pressure. Then another and another. The weight grows. Your breathing becomes shallow. Confess, says the magistrate. Confess your compact with Satan. But you're not a witch. You're just a woman who grew herbs and healed the sick. More stones. Your ribs start to bend inward. The first one breaks. You gasp for air, but there's no room for your lungs to expand. More weight, you whisper. Because if you're going to die, you want it to be quick. Your ribs collapse like kindling. The crowd watches in silence. Some of them are your neighbors, people you've known for years. None of them speak up. More stones. Your vision blurs. You think about your garden, about the lavender you planted last spring. Who will water it now? Your sternum splits. Death comes pretty quickly after that, but let's consider this. Maybe they decide hanging is more fitting to your specific case. After all, witches are supposed to fly. Let's see how you do with a rope around your neck. They march you to Gallows Hill, half the town follows behind. Hundreds of feet on the dirt road. They put the noose around your neck, it's rougher than you expected. Coarse hemp that cuts into your throat. The minister asks if you have any last words. I am innocent, you say. The crowd murmurs. Some believe you, but not enough. The trapdoor opens. You fall, but the drop isn't far enough. Your neck doesn't break clean. Instead, you dangle. You can't breathe, can't swallow. Your hands claw at the rope, but they're tied behind your back. The crowd watches. Some of them are eating apples. Like it's entertainment. Now you're struggling to breathe. It hurts to inhale. Your vision goes dark around the edges. You swing slightly in the morning breeze. Finally, your body goes still, but your eyes stay open, staring at the people who killed you for nothing. Next, the Atlantic slave trade. The ship has been at sea for 6 weeks. Below deck, in the belly of the vessel, 400 human beings are chained together like cargo. You're one of them. The smell is unbearable. Vomit, excrement, death, and despair all mixed together. And on top of that, it's dark. People are dying every day. Yesterday, it was the woman next to you. Fever took her in the night. This morning, they dragged her body up the stairs. You heard the splash. That's what they do with the dead. Throw them overboard. Today, you can feel the fever starting in yourself. It begins as a chill, even though the air below deck is stifling hot. Then the sweats. Then the delirium. You call out for your mother, but she's an ocean away, sold to a different ship, a different fate. The fever burns through you like wildfire. By evening, you can't lift your head. The man chained beside you whispers a prayer in a language the slavers tried to beat out of you. But you remember. You remember home. The slavers come for you before dawn. They don't bother to check if you're actually dead. Close enough. They drag you up the stairs, your body bumping against each step. The ocean air hits your face. For a moment, you feel alive again. Then they lift you over the rail. The Atlantic swallows you whole.
But ladies and boxheads, think about this.
Maybe you survive the crossing, maybe you make it to the plantation, but survival has its own price. The overseer doesn't like the way you looked at him. Insolence, he calls it. The punishment is 50 lashes. They tie you to the whipping post. Your wrists are raw from the shackles you've worn for months. The first crack of the whip splits the morning air. Fire races across your back, then another and another. By the 10th lash, your back is hamburger meat. By the 20th, you've stopped screaming. By the 30th, you can't feel anything below your shoulders. The overseer keeps counting. 41, 42, 43. Your body hangs limp against the post. The other slaves are forced to watch. A lesson, the overseer calls it. 48, 49. 50. Your heart stops before he finishes, but he completes the count anyway. Now let me tell you how you are going to die in the French Revolution. You used to be nobility, used to have servants, carriages, and a chateau in the countryside. Now you have a cell in the conciergerie prison and a date with Madame Guillotine. The crowd outside has been screaming for hours. They want blood, your blood. The guards come for you at noon.
Time to go, citizen.
They bind your hands behind your back and march you through the streets of Paris. The crowd follows, throwing stones and rotten fruit. A cabbage hits you in the face. The crowd cheers. The scaffold stands in the Place de la République. Thousands of people have gathered to watch you die. They're selling food, making bets, bringing their children. It's a festival, a celebration of your death. They force you to your knees and push your head into the lunette. The wooden collar closes around your neck. Above you, the blade waits. 45 pounds of angled steel suspended by a rope. You can see your reflection in the metal. The executioner raises his hand. The crowd falls silent. The blade drops. For a split second, there's no pain. Just the sound of steel cutting through bone. Your head drops into the basket. But you're still conscious, still aware. Your eyes move, your mouth opens and closes. The crowd erupts, they're cheering, dancing, celebrating. Your vision fades, but you can still hear them. Still hear them celebrating your death. Or maybe you don't make it to the guillotine. Maybe the mob finds you first. You're hiding in your mansion when they break down the door. Wood splintering, glass breaking, they flood your house. Peasants with pitchforks and kitchen knives. People you've never seen before screaming for your blood. Aristocrat, they shout. Enemy of the people. You run, but there's nowhere to go. They corner you in the drawing room. The first punch breaks your nose, blood pours down your face, then another fist, and another. They're all hitting you at once. Fists, boots, clubs, anything they can find. Someone has a kitchen knife. It cuts across your chest. Then another blade. This one finds your stomach. You fall to the floor. They keep hitting, keep stabbing. No trial, no judge, no mercy. Just rage and violence and blood.
Your damn blood.
You try to speak, to beg, to explain, but they don't want explanations. They want revenge. For centuries of oppression, for decades of hunger, for all the times you didn't see them as human. The blows keep coming until there's nothing left to hit.
Now, let me take you to the Victorian era around the time 1850. You're 7 years old. Too small for the factory, too weak for the workhouse. But you're perfect for the chimneys. Mr. Grimsby bought you from the orphanage for 5 shillings. Climbing boys, he calls children like you. You call it hell. The flue is narrow, barely wide enough for your tiny body. Your knees and elbows bleed as you crawl upward through the darkness. The soot fills your lungs, your eyes, your mouth. Everything tastes like ash. You can't stop coughing, but you have to keep climbing. Mr. Grimsby is waiting below with his stick. The chimney narrows as you go higher. The walls press against your shoulders, then your chest. Then you can't move at all. You're stuck, wedged tight between the sooty bricks 20 feet above the ground. You try to back down, but the passage is too narrow. You try to go up, but there's no room. You scream, "Help! Help me!" But the sound just echoes in the flue. Mr. Grimsby can't hear you. The family upstairs can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. You scream until your voice gives out. Then silence. The soot fills your mouth when you try to breathe. Your chest feels tight, compressed by the narrow walls. Hours pass. The darkness is complete. You think about the other climbing boys, the ones who disappeared. Now you know where they went. Your breathing gets shallower. The walls seem to be closing in, or maybe you're swelling up. Either way, you can't move, can't breathe, can't scream. And so you accept your fate. Your body will remain there for weeks before they even discover you. But what if you're the type to avoid the chimneys? Then maybe you end up in the tenements instead. 7 families crammed into a basement room. No windows, no ventilation, no hope. That's where the cholera finds you. It starts with stomach cramps, then the vomiting. But what comes up isn't food. It's black water, like something dredged from the Thames. Your neighbors back away. They know what this means. Cholera, the disease that's been sweeping through London like wildfire. The black vomit won't stop. Your body is turning itself inside out. Someone runs to get the authorities. But they don't come to help. They come to quarantine. They nail boards across your door, trap you inside with the disease and the dying. The cramping
Gets worse, your skin turns blue from dehydration. Your pulse becomes unsteady. Through the walls, you can hear your neighbors whispering. They're afraid the disease will spread. They're afraid you'll contaminate them. So they leave you to die alone. The black water keeps coming until there's nothing left inside you, until you're just an empty shell in a room full of death. The authorities will burn the building down when it's over. Purification by fire. But by then, you'll be long gone.
Let me take you back to history class once again, and we're talking about how you would die in the American Civil War.
The musket ball hits you just below the ribs. Not the crack of the gun, that was seconds ago. The crack of your spine. You fall face first into the muddy cornfield outside Gettysburg. The stalks tower above you like golden soldiers. Around you, the battle rages on. Cannon fire shakes the earth. Men scream, horses scream, the very air seems to scream. But you can't move. The bullet is lodged somewhere deep in your belly, and every breath sends fire through your gut. You try to call for a medic. Help, you whisper, but your voice is lost in the chaos of war. The sound of men dying all around you. Hours pass. Soon the flies find you. They land on your face, your wounds, the blood pooling beneath you. You try to swat them away, but your arm won't obey. The paralysis spreads through your limbs. More flies. The battlefield grows quieter as the day wears on. The fighting has moved somewhere else. You're alone now, alone with the corn and the flies and the pain that's eating you alive from the inside. You think about home, about your wife Sarah, and the baby you've never seen.
Will they honestly even know you're dead?
The flies are in your mouth now. Your vision blurs. You close your eyes and listen to the distant cannon fire. Maybe they find you before you die. But luck is relative in wartime. They carry you to the field hospital, a canvas tent filled with screaming men and the smell of gangrene. The surgeon takes one look at your shattered leg and reaches for his saw. Hold him down, he tells the orderlies. No anesthesia, no morphine, no mercy. Just a leather strap between your teeth and a prayer that you'll pass out before he's finished. The saw bites into your thigh. You scream through the leather. The sound that comes out isn't human. Through the bone now. White-hot agony shoots through every nerve in your body. You can feel everything. The teeth of the saw, the splintering bone, the warm blood pooling on the table. You try to pass out. Beg your brain to shut down.
But nope, you're still up.
Your vision goes white around the edges. Your leg hits the floor, but you're still awake, still feeling everything. The surgeon reaches for the hot iron to cauterize the wound. The smell of your own flesh burning fills the tent. That's when you finally scream loud enough to wake the dead. And there are plenty of dead to wake. I know everyone is going to remember the Titanic. Now, let's put you in it. The ship is going down. You know it. Everyone knows it. But knowing and accepting are two different things. You're in third class, deep in the belly of the ship. The water's already knee-deep and rising fast. People pushing past you, climbing over each other to reach the stairs. But the gates are locked. They always lock the gates. Can't have the poor people mixing with the rich. Not even when they're all about to die. Fists pounding on metal. Let us out! Let us out! But the stewards are gone, fled to save themselves. The water is waist deep now, ice cold Atlantic seawater. It steals the breath from your lungs. The cold is like a punch to the chest. Your muscles seize up instantly. People are screaming, praying, drowning. A woman holds her baby above her head, trying to keep the child's face out of the water. But the water keeps rising, chest deep now. You can't feel your legs anymore. The cold has stolen them. Someone grabs onto you, dragging you down, under the water. You fight your way back to the surface, but there's less air now. The ceiling is only inches away. People are disappearing under the black water, one by one, like the sea is swallowing them whole. You take one last breath. Then the water closes over your head. The screaming stops. Everything is silent beneath the surface. The cold makes everything numb. You open your eyes and see bodies floating around you like ghosts. Then you close your eyes for good. But what if you had made it to the deck? What if you're one of the lucky ones who escapes the sinking ship? Well, I got news for you, but the ocean is waiting. You jump from the deck into the Atlantic. The water hits you like a hammer, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to stop your heart in minutes. You gasp and swallow seawater. Salt burns your throat. Around you, hundreds of people are thrashing in the water, screaming, calling for help. But the lifeboats are already rowing away, too afraid to come back. Too afraid of being swamped by the desperate. You try to swim, but your muscles won't obey. The cold has paralyzed them. Your breath comes in short, visible puffs, like tiny stars in the freezing air. Your fingers go numb first, then your toes, then your arms and legs. The cold creeps inward like death itself. People around you are going quiet, one by one. Another soul vanishes beneath the black water. Another. You try to stay afloat, but it's getting harder. Your waterlogged clothes pull you down. The cold saps your strength. You go under, fight your way back up. But your movements are getting weaker, slower, under again. This time you don't have the strength to surface. The ocean takes you gently, almost kindly. Your last thought is how quiet it is down here, how peaceful. Next, let me tell you about how you're going to die in World War I. The year is 1917. The gas shells land with a soft whistle, not the explosive crack of artillery, just a gentle hiss. You're in the trenches at Ypres and you know that sound.
Gas. Gas! Gas! Someone screams.
The alarm bell rings, but it's too late. You're already breathing it. Mustard gas, the invisible killer. At first, nothing happens. You think maybe you're safe, maybe the wind carried it away, then your eyes start to burn.
Tears streaming down your face, but they don't help.
The burning gets worse. Your throat starts to close. A wet, raspy cough that brings up blood. Your skin begins to blister. Red welts appear on your arms, your face, anywhere the gas touched you. More blood. Your lungs are dissolving, literally melting from the inside. You stumble toward the medical tent, but your vision is gone. The gas has burned out your eyes. Pink foam bubbles from your mouth. Your own lung tissue liquefied. Other soldiers avoid you. They know there's nothing they can do. You're a walking dead man. You collapse in the mud, drowning in your own dissolving lungs. The gas has turned your respiratory system into soup. You can't speak, can't breathe, can't see, but you can still listen. The sounds of war rage around you. Machine guns, artillery, men dying. Just another day in hell. Your body convulses once. But think. What if you were able to avoid the gas? Maybe you survive long enough to go over the top. The attack begins. You climb out of the trench and run toward the German lines. Machine gun fire cuts through the morning air. Men fall around you like wheat before a scythe. Bodies hitting the mud, but you keep running through the barbed wire, through the shell craters, through no man's land. You make it to their trench. Jump down into the enemy position. Face to face with a German soldier. He's young, maybe 18. Blonde hair, blue eyes, terrified, just like you.
He has a bayonet, you have a bayonet.
For a moment, you just stare at each other. Two boys who should be home with their families. Then he moves. The blade slides between your ribs. You feel it pierce your lung, your heart. You look into his eyes as he kills you. See your own fear reflected back. He's crying. So are you. You fall backward into the mud. He pulls out the bayonet. Metal against bone, your blood mixes with the rain.
With the blood of 1,000 other boys who died for nothing. Now, ladies and boxheads, you join them in the afterlife. Okay, we can't talk about how you would die in World War I without simply talking about how you would die in World War II.
The year is 1945. The B-29s appear in the sky like silver birds, hundreds of them, flying in perfect formation toward Dresden. You're down below, huddled in your cellar with your neighbors, waiting. The sound of engines fills the air. Then the first bombs fall. The house above you shakes, dust rains from the ceiling, another and another. But these aren't ordinary bombs, these are incendiaries. Fire bombs, designed to turn your city into hell. The first fires start, small at first, then they grow and grow. The fire spreads from building to building, block to block. It creates its own wind, a firestorm. The cellar is getting hot, then hotter. The temperature outside reaches 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to melt metal, hot enough to turn human beings into ash. The air itself catches fire. You try to escape the cellar, but the door handle burns your hand. Your skin sticks to the metal. The oxygen is being sucked out of the air by the flames. You can't breathe. The temperature keeps rising, your clothes catch fire, then your hair, then your skin. You're burning alive, but the real horror is the air. There's no oxygen left. You suffocate before the flames finish you. The firestorm consumes everything. Buildings, trees, people. When it's over, Dresden is gone, wiped from the earth, and you're just a shadow burned into the pavement. Or maybe you're not in Dresden, maybe you're in Poland, in a place that doesn't have a name anymore, just a number.
Auschwitz.
You're standing in line with 100 other people, naked, shivering, afraid. They told you this was a shower, but there are no drains in the floor, no shower heads on the walls, just vents in the ceiling. The door slams shut. The sound echoes in the concrete chamber, locks turning. Someone starts to cry. A child maybe, then an adult, then everyone. You press against the door, but it won't budge. Fists pounding on metal. Let us out, please! But no one's listening, no one cares. You're just a number to them, a statistic, a problem to be solved. The first gas enters through the vents. Zyklon B, you smell almonds. Sweet, bitter almonds. More gas. The crying gets louder, more desperate. You hold your breath, but you can't hold it forever. When you finally inhale, the gas burns your lungs. Your chest tightens. Your vision blurs. People are collapsing around you. Bodies hitting the concrete. You try to climb toward the vents. Try to find clean air, but there isn't any. Your movements become sluggish, uncoordinated.
The gas is shutting down your nervous system, and then, guys, you fall.
Your last thought is of your mother, her face, her voice, the lullaby she used to sing, then nothing. And I can't end this video without talking about how you would die today. The ventilator breathes for you in and out. Mechanical, precise, emotionless. You're in the ICU at St. Mary's Hospital. COVID-19, they said. The new variant. More contagious, more deadly. The heart monitor counts down your remaining beats. Through the glass wall, you can see nurses in hazmat suits. They look like aliens, but they're the only human contact you have. Your family can't visit. Too dangerous, they said. Too risky. The ventilator keeps working, but your lungs are failing, scarred by the virus, filled with fluid. Your heart rate is dropping. A nurse checks your chart through the glass, makes a note, moves on to the next patient, the next number. You try to speak, but the tube down your throat won't let you. You try to move, but the sedatives keep you still. The machine breathes. You don't. Through the window, you can see the city, life going on, cars driving, people walking, the world spinning, but you're trapped here, behind glass, dying alone. Your daughter calls on FaceTime. Her face appears on the tablet by your bed. She's crying. "I love you, Dad," she says. But you can't answer. Can't tell her you love her too. Can't say goodbye. Your heart is stopping. The nurses rush in, but it's too late. You're already gone. Died alone. Surrounded by machines instead of family. By technology instead of love. The nurse calls your daughter, tells her you passed peacefully, but it wasn't peaceful, it was lonely. The loneliest death in human history.
And guys, if you've ever wondered what it would be like to die in every single natural disaster, click this video right here. Trust me, it might be more interesting than knowing what it would be like to die in every time period.